Chapter 5. Einstein's Later Years. In the 1930s, the world changed dramatically, and so did Albert Einstein's life. The rise of the Nazi Party in Germany brought with it a wave of anti-Semitism, making life dangerous for Jewish people like Albert. He decided to leave Germany for good. Albert was invited to join the newly formed Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, United States. This was a unique institution, designed to provide a peaceful environment for scholars to pursue their research without the pressures of teaching or administrative duties. For Albert, it was a perfect place to continue his work. In 1933, Albert and his wife Elsa moved to Princeton. They bought a house at 112 Mercer Street, which became their home for the rest of their lives. Albert quickly settled into his new life. He enjoyed the quiet, small-town atmosphere of Princeton. He liked to take long walks, play the violin, and sail on a nearby lake. He also enjoyed the company of other scholars at the Institute. At the Institute, Albert worked on many scientific projects. He continued his research on the general theory of relativity, exploring its implications and trying to refine its predictions. He also worked on a unified field theory, a theoretical framework that could incorporate all the fundamental forces of nature. This was a difficult task, and Albert did not succeed in completing it, but his efforts stimulated a lot of research and discussion in the scientific community. Albert also became involved in public affairs. He spoke out on many issues, such as nuclear disarmament, civil rights, and education. He used his fame to draw attention to these issues and to advocate for peace and justice. He became a respected voice in the public sphere, known for his wisdom and integrity. In the next part, we will learn about Albert's contributions to the World War, the Second Effort, his views on the atomic bomb, and his role in the civil rights movement. We will see how he used his scientific knowledge and his moral convictions to make a difference in the world. In his later years, Albert Einstein embarked on a quest that would consume the rest of his scientific career: the search for a unified field theory. This was an attempt to bring together all the fundamental forces of nature into a single theoretical framework. The forces that Albert was trying to unite were gravity, which is described by his general theory of relativity, and electromagnetism, which is described by Maxwell's equations. At the time, these were the only two known fundamental forces. Two more, the strong and weak nuclear forces, were discovered later. Albert's goal was to find a mathematical formula, or a set of equations, that could explain both gravity and electromagnetism. He believed that this would provide a deeper understanding of the universe and reveal the underlying unity of nature. This was a highly ambitious project, and it was fraught with difficulties. The theories of gravity and electromagnetism are very different in their structure and their concepts. They describe different phenomena and operate on different scales. Bridging the gap between them was a major challenge. Despite his best efforts, Albert did not succeed in finding a unified field theory. His ideas did not fit with the experimental data, and they did not gain acceptance in the scientific community. Many physicists were moving in a different direction, towards quantum mechanics, a new theory that seemed to explain the behavior of atoms and particles better than classical physics. Although Albert's quest for a unified field theory was unsuccessful, it was not a waste of time. It stimulated a lot of research and discussion. It pushed the boundaries of theoretical physics and opened up new avenues of investigation. It inspired many scientists to think about the unity of nature and the beauty of the universe. Even in his failure, Albert showed us the value of bold ideas, the importance of perseverance, and the power of the human mind. He showed us that science is a journey, not a destination, and that the search for truth is its own reward. While Albert Einstein is most famous for his scientific achievements, his impact goes far beyond the realm of physics. In his later years, Albert became a vocal advocate for peace, human rights, and social justice, using his global fame to shed light on issues he cared deeply about. Albert was a lifelong pacifist. He was deeply affected by the destruction and suffering caused by World War I, and he believed that war was not a solution to international conflicts. He once said, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." Albert was a member of several peace organizations, and he often spoke out against war and militarism. However, when World War II broke out, Albert faced a difficult decision. He was aware of the Nazi regime's efforts to develop atomic weapons, and he was worried about the consequences if they succeeded. In 1939, Albert signed a letter to President Roosevelt, warning him about this danger and urging him to support research into atomic energy in the United States. This letter played a role in the creation of the Manhattan Project, which developed the atomic bomb. After the war, when the devastating power of atomic weapons became clear, Albert regretted his involvement. He became a strong advocate for nuclear disarmament and for the peaceful use of atomic energy. He worked with other scientists to raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear weapons and to promote international cooperation in the control of atomic energy. Albert was also a champion of civil rights. He was appalled by the racism he saw in the United States, and he used his voice to condemn it. He was a friend of Paul Robeson and W.E.B. Du Bois, prominent black leaders and civil rights activists. He also spoke out in support of the newly formed State of Israel, seeing it as a refuge for Jews who had suffered persecution in Europe. In his final years, Albert continued to work on his scientific research, but he also devoted a lot of time to his social and political activities. He passed away in 1955, leaving behind a rich legacy of scientific discovery, social activism, and humanist values. In the next chapter, we will reflect on Albert's life and legacy, and we will see how his ideas continue to influence our world today. We will explore his enduring contributions to science, his impact on society, and his role as a symbol of human curiosity and creativity.